Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I'm Hassan Salim, fourth prof morning. My roll number is BP1650016 and my group is 46. Today I'm here to present my assignment on connective tissue disorder, the clinical use of corticosteroids. And specifically, I would talk about hyperglycemia, which is an adverse effect of corticosteroids. Uh, let's have some basic introduction regarding corticosteroids. Okay, so corticosteroids are basically a class of hormones which are released by the adrenal cortex in the kidney. And there are two basic types of corticosteroids. One are known as glucocorticosteroids, and second are known as mineralocorticosteroids. Now, as the name indicate, the glucocorticoids or corticosteroids are basically those who would be working over the glucose or on the carbohydrate content, whereas the mineralocorticoid would be working on the mineral content. Corticosteroids cover a vast aspect of functions in our body. That could be our inflammation, regulating the metabolic processes that involves the metabolism of carbohydrate, protein, and fats, and the electrolyte level in the body, and few others. So the glucocorticoids are specifically working over the carbohydrate, fat, and protein metabolism, and as a result, they are giving anti-inflammatory responses. Whereas the mineralocorticoid, which is primarily responsible for the maintenance of electrolyte level and water levels in the kidney and the body. The few examples of corticosteroids that are found naturally in human body are corticosterone, cortisone, and aldosterone. Corticosteroids medically are used on many diseases to treat them. A few of them are asthma, hay fever, eczema, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, painful and inflamed joints, inflammatory bowel disease, also known as Crohn's disease, and ulcerative colitis, and etc. Even corticosteroids can be used as a hormone replacement for diseases like Addison's disease. The use of corticosteroids in a limited dose is beneficial for human body, but as the dose increases, there are also some adverse effects that are indicated in the body, such as weight gain, increase in the appetite means increase in hunger, more consumption of food, mood swings, muscle weaknesses, blurred vision, lower sensations, and osteoporosis, acne, stomach irritation, nervousness, difficulty in sleeping, and one of the most common one is hyperglycemia, etc. Now, what is hyperglycemia? Hyperglycemia is basically the increase in the levels of the sugar or the glucose in the blood. This could happen due to various reasons. One of the most common reasons is that the body is unable to produce sufficient insulin that is able to regulate the mechanism of sugar control in the blood. There are two, it is also known as diabetic mellitus. And there are two types of diabetic mellitus. The diabetic mellitus 1 is basically where the insulin production is insufficient, whereas in diabetes type 2, the receptors of insulin in the body are ineffective or not working properly. Few symptoms are there which can be easy for the recognition of diabetes, that is polyuria, means frequent urination and high concentration of urination. Excessive thirst means more water consumption, loss of sensation. Usually diabetic patients are unable to feel pain or some kind of injuries. And if self-regulatory or self-checking mechanism is obtained by any patient, so you can see that the blood glucose levels in the fasting and random is increased. For fasting, it is almost higher than 130 milligrams per deciliter, and for randoms it is 180 milligram per deciliter or above. Now, why hyperglycemia is induced by corticosteroids? Basically, corticosteroids has a mechanism of action that they increase the pancreatic glucagon secretion, which is an hormone that works as an antagonist to the insulin mechanism, which increases the blood glucose level. Furthermore, it promotes glycogenolysis and the formation of sugar from the amino acid or protein metabolism and lactate. Corticosteroids even reduces the consumption of glucose by the cell membrane and other receptors in the body. As a result, the blood glucose level increases and that leads to hyperglycemia. Now let's look about a case study. We have a patient that is 58 years old with a medical history of dermatomyositis, type 2 diabetes mellitus from last 5 years, hypercholesterolemia, and obesity. He is on few medications, which is one is prednisone, 80 milligram per day. It has been started 2 months ago, and we know that prednisone is a kind of a corticosteroid medication. Then we have lovastatin 20 mg and glyburide 5 mg. He recently came into the clinic with and has a complaint of still persisting hyperglycemia. So let's see how can we deal with this kind of patient. See, let's have some subjective notes. First of all, we have the chief complaint is hyperglycemia, means increased glucose level in the body. He is 58 years old, has few other complications that includes dermatomyositis, hypercholesterolemia, obesity, and diabetes type 2. And as we have seen, he is on 3 kinds of medication: prednisone 80 mg per day, lovastatin 20 mg, glyburide 5 mg. And his weight is 285 pounds. And we have his blood pressure 140 by 90 millimeter of mercury, which is normal. His pulse is 50 beats per minute, which is regular, and FPG is 189 milligram per deciliter. Now, while assisting, we can see that due to hypercholesterolemia and diabetic mellitus type 2, we have chances of occurring cardiovascular diseases that may be atherosclerosis or arteriosclerosis. Plus, we have loss of sensation that is also known as neuropathy, which is quite common in diabetic patients. Furthermore, there are chances of possible kidney damages and damage to the blood vessels of retina that can lead to blurred visions or kidney impairment. Uh, as we know that it has been treated previously, the diabetes was treated, so we don't think we need to change any kind of medication. We just need to do some non-pharmacological treatments that includes regular exercise and low sugar and fat diet, so that his glucose level remains controlled. Because as we know that prednisone can induce the hyperglycemia, as it's a corticosteroid medication. So we need to if so we just need non-pharmacological treatment, and that would be enough. And if in case that is ineffective, then we can go towards changement of dose that includes glyburide, do increase of dose of glyburide, or we can change the dose of prednisone a bit less. We can reduce its frequency, or we can change the medication to other such as like metformin, etc. Thank you. I hope I was able to convey the knowledge which I was trying to give all to you. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.